Hi, I'm Bob Vila. Welcome home again to our final episode here in Dumbo in Brooklyn, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass and next to the beautiful Brooklyn Bridge. Today we're going to take a close look at what we've done here. We've got 3 apartments that are just about completed, so we'll show you all the details. We've got a facade that's nearly restored, and on the 4th floor, we've got a complete installation of mid-century modern furniture. Stick around, it's good to have you home again. I said the facade is almost restored because we still have a wee bit of work to do. But if you were with us when we started this project, this is what it looked like. A building that had been neglected for probably half a century. Graffiti, but also the impact of the weather had taken its toll. And now we've had some delays to this work because of Landmarks Board requirements, but it's almost finished. And if you look closely, you see that the repointing has all been completed. You see that the windows are all new and they've been painted in a historic color. The lintels have all been repaired. And what's happening right now is kind of the restoration of the commercial shop front downstairs. Let's take a closer look. Let's talk for a minute with Dave Anderson, who's got Pasvalco is the name of the company, right?
Pasvalco in Closter, New Jersey.
And you've brought us all of the bluestone, which we really appreciate because you had to get it cut in time for our final visit here.
Yes, sir.
Now, is the bluestone native New York stone, or where's it from?
It comes from right along the borderline of New York State and Pennsylvania. Our supplier on this is Glenwood Stone in Nicholson, Pennsylvania. They actually quarried it in New York State and bring it down, and they semi-fabricate it. At their plant, and then we brought it down actually yesterday, and we finished it up last night and brought it over here this morning.
Now, when you say finished it up, what has to be done to it besides cutting it to the right dimension?
Well, we cut it to the right dimension. We have the thermal finish the edges. On the top step, we got a couple of notches that have to be made in there.
Dave, when you say thermal finish, what does that mean? Is it flamed?
Flame finish, they take a torch, a propane torch, propane and oxygen, and then you wet the piece, and the water soaks into the stone, and then you hit it with the torch, and what happens, the water expands and actually pops the surface, so you get what looks like a natural surface. This also makes it non-slip, and it also is used as a quality control element that we can test the quality of the stone under fire.
And yet, in terms of the actual installation, they're using leverage and they're using the same systems that were probably used back in 1830.
Yes, in this case, with the tight quarters, that's what has to be done.
Exactly. The original steps were big bluestone chunks.
Yes.
And there were 2 or 3 survivors, but we couldn't reuse them because of dimensions. They don't quite meet the code requirements in terms of riser size.
You had to change the steps, and so trying to add one new step with several old steps is, it doesn't look good. So these are mellow as they weather over, say, 6 months' time, and they'll look like they've been here for 50 years.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Let's watch as they progress. Chris Vila has been helping me out on this project. And Chris, what was the main source of the delay here on the facade? Because we lost about a month.
Basically, we had to install a lot of, or order a lot of new brick, and the size that we needed was 8 1/4, which is very hard to find. So it actually came from Nebraska, special ordered. We put everything in here, and you know, we've had to go through Landmarks again, making sure that everything fits out.
Well, I know that we had to go through the process of distressing the brick.
Well, right, exactly. They didn't want us to just put in new brick, so we had to actually grind down the brick, and then we basically stained it to make it look old. After that, they had us put in this brown band of cast stone, which is made to look like old brown stone.
And that was done right here in Brooklyn?
Right here at Essex Works here in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Oh, it must be our break time. Jacques Torres is our favorite neighbor. Jacques is the chocolatier par excellence across the street. You've been here in Dumbo now for 2 years?
For almost 3 years, yes. But I have to tell you, what you guys did is amazing. That house looked beautiful, unbelievable.
I want to come back in a couple of months when the bakery started.
Okay, okay, that's a deal.
Thanks a lot, Jacques.
As we say, chin chin. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. And the top step fits, not bad.
Perfect.
Now, what about the shop front here?
Right, this storefront's been manufactured here in Dumbo by Chris Perry Woodworking. It's mahogany, and once we've got them all in place, we're going to finish it out in a nice green, same as the windows.
So these will be the entrance to the shop?
This will be the entrance to the shop.
And on the other side,
we'll have the entrance to the residential units.
Chris, thanks for your help.
Welcome.
Well, although we've been in construction for 5.5 months, nothing much has happened in the basement and the ground floor because the owners were still waiting for a tenant, and they're negotiating to put in a bakery in here. But you can see, if you look up there, the old charred joists have been joined by new ones and new plywood subfloor up above. But this was the condition of the entire building when we started. Let's take a look up above. The post and beam in this second floor apartment has been sandblasted, and this is all that remains of the vestiges of the original structure. But we've got an open plan apartment here, a very contemporary styled kitchen, stone countertops and modern appliances, and then we've got 2 bedrooms in this unit and a wonderful bathroom with Toto's Baldwin fixtures. So this will be ready in just a matter of days. So let's go up to the next floor. Now, the third floor apartment has an interesting combination, stainless steel and mahogany. And we use the mahogany on all the door finishes as well. Since it's an open plan kitchen, it really makes sense to pay attention to details like that. And of course, we've got the post and beam sandblasted like everywhere else. But one additional feature here is a Soul Serene sound absorbing ceiling from OC. And this really makes a difference in a noisy urban environment. Let's look at our bedroom and bath. This unit is a 1-bedroom, and the bedroom has one of the biggest beams in the whole building, which gives it a lot of character. Big walk-in closet, big master bathroom with some of the terrific features like the Toto soaking tub surrounded with stainless steel and the Neorest toilet, which is the electronic one that has all sorts of amazing features. Now, let's go upstairs. Wow, look at these colors in here. That is great. Let's say hello to Jonathan Adler and Darren Brown. And guys, what have we here?
Well, I think every house needs a kooky bit. And to me, this knight in shining armor is sort of a kooky icon of masculinity. And
where did you find it?
Found it at the flea market.
And so it looks good on our distressed post. And
yeah, it kind of has this, knight masculine thing going on.
So what's the thinking here in terms of what you've done for us? This is the living area.
Yep.
Let's talk about colors.
Well, I think that we took our cue from the walls, which have this kind of leather feel, and so we did this very rich, earthy...
Marmerino that was done by local Brooklyn artist Jonas Everett. And he's done a great job throughout the apartment.
It's beautiful. It looks so rich.
And so most of the palette relates to that?
Most of the palette relates to that. We used this sort of camel-colored leather, camel mohair in our furniture, this rich wooden thingy.
Now, is this chair, are they vintage pieces? Or?
No, the chair and the sofa are from my furniture collection, as is the mirrored coffee table.
Okay.
Added into the rich woods and leathery feel is this kind of happy palette as well, because I feel like in New York, your house needs to be happy.
You got these punchy red cushions and the carpet itself.
Yeah, we have punchy red cushions. We have the mustard in here. The carpet is very strong.
Now, is any of the furniture vintage? What's this?
This is a vintage Knoll chair designed by Warren Plattner. It's one of my favorite mid-century designs. It's very iconic, and we upholstered it in flocati.
How does this green make it into the equation?
Well, again, that's a happy color. This is from my lacquer collection. And my personal philosophy is that colors can't really clash. I think people are often very timid with color and try to do very coordinated scenarios, and I think it's fantastic to bring in improbable color.
But one thing you've done is you've kind of got a little bit of it here, a little bit more of it here, and a lot of it over there.
Yeah, it's kind of sprinkled around, and here we have this dining area that's just set up apart from there, and this is a very acidic area. We used these chairs that are...
Acidic?
Well, acidic color.
Yeah, the green is,
The green is an acid green, mixed with like a red. It's very strong, and then these chairs are these Chinese Chippendale chairs, which to me are very kind of waspy Palm Beach, which is an improbable element to throw into this bachelor pad, but I think it all kind of works.
Well, some people inherit grandmother's stuff.
Yeah, exactly. This is, as if you had a rich Palm Beach grandmother, which we all should have.
Great fantasies.
Yes.
One thing I like is the matchstick blinds that have been installed, which are Smith & Noble. And one of the interesting things is that they're the reverse. They go from the bottom up to the top. And that means that you can, use them in here and just kind of have them halfway down and get some privacy, but still let a lot of light in.
Yeah, I think it's a great.
And we thought that the bamboo was nice. It went with the walls.
It goes with the
very
walls.
Rich,
exactly.
Masculine.
All right, I'm going to take a closer look at the kitchen, and then I'll meet you guys in the rear of the apartment.
Sounds good.
Anytime the kitchen area is open to a beautifully decorated area, you want to make sure you got uniformity of materials. We've got wonderful American cherry, stainless steel on the pulls, and the stone, the marble, which in this case is a beautiful gray tone. Now, the interesting thing here too is the appliances. You're going to be cooking in the living room, so you want to have a good, powerful stove hood. This has up to 600 cubic feet per minute. And then we've got two separate fuels here. You got a cooktop independent of a wall oven. The wall oven is used low, and it's an extra wide 36-inch wall oven. You can get two turkeys in here. It's complete convection, which means that it isn't just a fan blowing the heat around. It's actually a fan with a heating element in front of it, so it's blowing around very hot air. And of course, it's self-cleaning. So that is a great thing to have in an urban apartment. You can have everybody over for Thanksgiving. You've also got a variety of uses up here. Instead of electricity, we've got gas, which is my preference. And you've got a variety of sizes so that you can go from 14,000 BTU to just 8, and you can use this thing to dissipate the heat so that if you're cooking a sauce or melting chocolate, you're in good shape. And then the other innovative thing that we've got in here is a 30-inch wide dishwasher. And boy, if you're throwing parties, this is the thing to have. These are both from Decor. And then the other interesting thing, not only here but throughout the apartment, is the lighting. But anyway, our lighting consultant, Marcus Early, was here recently, and he told us all about the lights. Okay, so this is a fluorescent light. It's unusual. It's very slim profile.
That's right. This is a zoom-tobel fixture, and it uses this new T5 technology fluorescent lamp.
That is very, very thin profile lighting.
Gives you like 5 times the output of incandescent and 10 times the life.
But it doesn't seem very bright when you look at the fixture. What's this panel right here doing?
What they use is a waveguide technology, and it's kind of like edge lighting the acrylic so that it sends a soft amount down, and most of the light goes up. Terrific for a kitchen so that we're bouncing a lot of light off the ceiling and getting nice light level on the counter and all the work surfaces.
That's great. Now, in the rest of the apartment, you've used a lot of track lighting and different sorts of track heads. What are we looking at over here?
That's right. These are LSI Lighting Services Incorporated systems, and it's really a great way to bring museum quality track lighting home.
So here you're washing my brick wall.
That's right. This square fixtures have a theatrical barn door assembly, which you can add as an accessory, and you can shutter down all the output of the fixture to limit.
So that goes mounted over there, and that's how you can aim it.
That's right. And they also make terrific accent lights in a lot of different styles. This one's kind of space age to go with our apartment here, and it uses a terrific AR70 Sylvania bulb, which has very low brightness. And if you were to take a look...
What's this over here, Marcus?
Oh, this is another LSI fixture, and it's really terrific because you can put it on the floor and adjust it to highlight something or just shine up and get a little bit more spill light into the room.
So that's just a plug-in fixture, like a
That's
table
correct.
lamp. But then these are the ones that you've used overhead here.
That's right. The AR70 bulb is very low brightness because it has a filament cap, and you can see here how we get a lot of light onto the table, but no glare.
That is excellent, because very often with track lighting, you get blinded as you're walking into it. So this is illuminating this table setting here, but you can look right up there and there's no glare.
That's right.
I want 6 of these. Thanks, Marcus. Before we see what Jonathan and Darren have accomplished in the rear rooms, let's take a look at the key hall here in the bathroom. The Marmorino finishes end here in the key hall, and we start to use some of my signature line of paints. And here we've got a color that's called Time, which is a very strong green, but it works well in a small space like that, especially when you have a lot of white tile, marble, toilet fixture, the lavatory. This is the Mercer suite from Toto. And one of the things about this design is that there's lots of shelf space everywhere you look. Sometimes vanities, you can't put anything on them, but here Jonathan has accessorized it. And then we've got a couple of other colors, including the Wheatland beige in this area here. And as you go up the stairs, you can get up to this fabulous roof deck. And the roof deck has been set up so that it's kind of like a Moroccan-themed party up there. You've got rugs and cushions and coffee table, and there's no reason why you can't take indoor furniture and use it outdoors. And now let's see what the guys have done in the two other rooms back here. This is the bedroom, and Jonathan, it's a small room.
It is a small room, and that was definitely a challenge.
Barely 9 by 12.
Barely. So we did some things to deal with it. Like, we wanted to get a lot of furniture in, but it didn't want to feel too blocky. So we put in this lucite console, which is a vintage piece that doesn't take up a lot of room visually, but it gives you a space to store your objects and stuff.
And are the stools underneath also vintage, as you say?
Those are vintage. They're from a thrift store.
Now, when you say vintage, do you mean like the 60s or the 70s?
I think these are from the 60s and the 70s, these pieces.
So this stuff is already considered antique?
By some.
Yeah, right.
It's some people's junk. To me, it's treasures.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and then we have some of my stuff on top of it, my pottery, a hand-turned lamp for my collection.
It's not a gourd.
No, it's turned hardwood made in Africa.
Fabulous. And then what's the rug on the floor?
The rug is a beautiful goatskin rug from Mock Collection. It's very luxurious, very sumptuous.
And the bed is super low.
The bed is a very low bed from West Elm catalog, which is a really great catalog.
Again, reinforcing this idea of, you know, making the room more spacious, very low bed.
And we have my new quilt on top of it from my Happy Home bedding collection.
So the shape in the quilt also refers to the shape of the lamp.
It does. This sort of gourd shape is echoed. And then we painted it Wheatland beige from your paint collection.
Right.
And the whole room has a very serene quality, but I can only take so much serenity. So I put a riot of pattern with my pillows.
Bold patterns and colors.
Pattern.
And this, which reminds me of Epcot, is actually made out of Solo cups, right?
Yeah, it's styrofoam cups. This is a do-it-yourself project. People did it a lot in the 70s, and my mom made one in my house, and I always loved it, so
it's just a hanging bulb, and then these are all just cups.
Just a cord with a light bulb. These are glued together with a hot glue gun.
And a lot of patience.
And a lot of patience.
Great. Let's see what's over here. This could have been used as a second bedroom, but you've set it up as an elegant office.
Yeah, we chose to make this an office for the bachelor who's living here. I think our inspiration here was David Hicks, the 60s English interior designer. You can see that in the dark colored walls with the white trim and the mix of sort of sumptuous materials with a pop art sensibility. I think you can really see that in our lacquer desk, which is very luxurious, and our platinum glazed lamp.
Platinum glaze?
Yeah, it's a like high fire stoneware with a platinum overglaze made with real platinum.
Yeah.
And then that's sort of juxtaposed with this mirror, which has the shape of American. It's a very pop art kind of statement.
Right.
So it's again this mixture of pop with luxury.
Very, very nice. I'm particularly attracted to this outrageous rocking chair.
That is a 70s Tonnet, not imitation Tonnet made with chrome. Tonnet is, of course, the bent wood.
Right. Tonnet was the guy
Victorian
that invented the bent wood chairs that you found in all the cafes and ice cream parlors.
And this is the 70s interpretation of it that I love with patent leather and chrome.
And then the little wooden tree trunk next to it?
The wooden tree trunk is hand-carved in Africa, made from an African hardwood called dimwood. And it's
fabulous. So again, it's a mixture of all sorts of natural elements and hard-edged man-made elements that brings it all together.
Yeah, it's eclectic and hopefully crisp at the same time.
Great job. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Darren. Okay. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our adventures here in Brooklyn's Dumbo neighborhood. Next week, it's a brand new project involving modular home construction in the village of New Marlborough, Massachusetts in the Berkshire Hills. Till then, I'm Bob Vila. It's good to have you home again.